Now on Good Morning Carolina, minors will be able to buy emergency contraception over the counter. The government drops its appeal of the controversial court decision on Plan B.
And a football star doesn't take criminal court seriously. A judge decides to teach him a lesson.
Plus, can we talk? Joan Rivers celebrates a major birthday.
This is Good Morning Carolina.
And a good morning to you on this Tuesday. We're getting our week off to a good start, right?
We are, and that
Yes.
was a great impersonation.
Oh, thank
Very
you.
nicely
I'm
done.
impressed.
Very
This
nice.
afternoon, can I go to the beach, yay or nay?
I think it's possible because
Okay.
that sea breeze sets up away from the coast. The beaches should be sunny like yesterday.
Good, good,
There you go. Make
That's
your
my,
plans.
that's my beach dance. I totally know this.
Makenzi knows it.
Emperor Penguin.
I think that is what it is as well.
You're going with what Mackenzie
well,
said.
I have watched
kinda
many
thought
a
that.
documentary on that, and I think it is amazing. And maybe you guys can take some tips from the Emperor Penguin.
Emperor Penguin.
Just saying.
March of the Penguins. Is that
Yes.
that documentary?
Yes,
Yeah.
very good.
Cool.
Very tragic.
least-
I cried.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
Now I'm not
But
going
guys,
to.
everyone's
Yeah.
thinking the same.
Sing the new version of Money, 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 but say muggy, muggy, muggy.
Muggy. There you go.
It'll make it
Come
more
up with
fun.
it.
It
okay?
works. It works for us.
Of course, it's Tropical Storm Andrea, and she is making her way through the Carolinas. Right now, she's along our coast.
Yes, the winds and heavy rains pose a threat, especially to those of you in coastal communities. WWAY's meteorologist Christina Anthony is braving the storms on Carolina Beach and joins us now live. Christina, what is it like out there? Okay, thank you, Christina. So glad it is not raining on you. Now some closings to tell you about. Brunswick County and Bladen County schools are closed today. In Pender County, schools are on a 1-hour delay for students, and staff should report at normal time. Duplin County schools will also be on a 1-hour delay, and the Brunswick County Courthouse is also closed today. And for more closings, check out our website, wwaytv3.com. There is a link at the top of the page. And we do have an update on some power outages for you. There is one in Brunswick County, 71 in Columbus, 247 in New Hanover, and 7 in Pender, so not very bad. A lot worse on the western part of the state. And if you would like to check those updates, you can go to progress-energy.com, and hopefully they don't get any worse. And Kat says this is not the end of the line for the project. He says there has been some interest in putting together a book, and he is also looking into creating an interactive quiz. That is so interesting.
It is.
I've moved around the country a lot, and people say things so differently, and you wouldn't think so because of the national media and everything.
Yeah.
But what do you say, soda or pop?
It was puppies.
We got
And
one.
Mackenzie
Yes,
has
yes,
some
yes,
dazzling
yes.
trivia about
Yes,
it too.
yes, yes. I do. Just
It
a
came
sec.
from a puppy.
Sorry, I was doing my trivia answer, getting correct.
But it
dance.
came from-
I like that.
Me too. I'm not sure I'd
They're
get
not
in the
going to
ring
say
with
put
them.
a ring on it. They just want to be in the ring.
I knew you were going to go with that.
Okay, anyway,
Well, on
we
a
won't
com-
even try
yeah.
that. The FBI is digging once again into a Michigan field to hunt for Jimmy Hoffa's remains. In Our Nation Watch, federal agents executed a search warrant for a field in Oakland Township, north of Detroit, yesterday. They were led to the area by a tip from alleged former mobster Tony Zerilli. Earlier this year, Zerilli told a New York TV station the former Teamsters boss was buried in a field about 20 miles north from where he disappeared. Hoffa was last seen in 1975. He was declared dead in 1982. Well, there is some good news for those of you hitting the roads for vacation. Gas prices are dropping. The average price for a gallon of gas is $3.63. That's a 3-cent drop since last week. And Midwest states like Michigan, Wisconsin, and Indiana have seen the most dramatic decrease due mostly to refinery problems easing. And in Consumer Watch, Ford is going retro in response to widespread complaints about its dashboard designs. Ford's touchscreens, which control the radio, climate, and other functions, have been plagued with problems, so Ford is returning to buttons, knobs, and dials. The Wall Street Journal says the high-tech systems have been a major selling point, but critics say they're unnecessarily complex. And more of you are happy with your flying experiences. Major U.S. airlines improved their passenger satisfaction scores for the second straight year. An annual report shows airlines climbed 3% in the American Customer Satisfaction Index. That's despite rising fees and shrinking services, which annoys many passengers. And finally, first there was the staycation, now comes cashcation. A survey by the Society for Human Resource Management finds 9% of employers allow workers to cash out unused vacation time, and 5% let employees buy additional vacation days through a payroll deduction. Time again for Pet Pals, and this week's pet up for adoption is Simon, and he looks like he'd like to Lay around and be lazy.
Yeah, I think this is a big old lazy cat once he gets into a good atmosphere.
And speaking of rabies, you guys are having a rabies clinic
That's
this
right.
weekend, correct?
That's correct.
And 180 Division Drive is also where we can go to find
That's
this little guy,
right,
correct?
between 12 and 4:45 Monday through Friday.
All right. Thank you for joining us again this
Thank
week,
you,
Stephen.
Makenzi.
Happening this weekend, a free seminar to help you with your out-of-control child. And Linda Raleigh from Wilmington PD is here to tell us more about it.
Who seem to be out of control.
And will they also learn things to prevent, maybe their child isn't to the age yet that they're kind of experimenting things, but are they going to be able to learn how to prevent all of that from even happening in the first place?
Well, I think they're going to learn some strategies. 8:30 to 12:30 on Saturday.
The police department.
615 Best Street, Wilmington
All right.
Police.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Linda, for joining me
Thank
today.
you.
Let me just show you what this is.
This is what Christina Wheeler walked into one day in May.
This is taped to the floor.
Plastic sheets hung everywhere.
All this is in my bathtub.
Her things stuffed into corners.
All of my stuff is now behind that screen.
And almost no room to walk,
My entire fridge is taking up the walkway here.
let alone live.
My apartment, definitely, it was not living conditions.
So the 22-year-old who works on WWAY's production staff left her apartment at Campus Walk on Racine Drive
I was very upset,
and stayed in a hotel that night.
and that was probably one of the worst moments of the whole process.
Campus Walk managers say they gave tenants written notice April 30th that renovations would start on different dates in May.
For a whole entire week, I had to completely change my schedule. I couldn't really make any food because it was just so crazy here.
Most of the time, Wheeler says crews came when she least expected them to, when she was in the shower.
It was extremely frustrating to have just gotten out of the shower, be in my robe, and be getting a knock on my door, and I had no prior knowledge that they were going to be coming in doing any work.
Even during her interview with WWAY.
Oh, sorry about that. How you doing?
Good.
I have a dishwasher for you.
I already have a dishwasher.
So, fed up, Wheeler says she asked Campus Walk managers to pay for the hotel and to lower the next month's rent.
The apartment told me that they would do nothing for me.
Campus Walk managers did not want to go on camera, but they do say they tried to make this project as painless as possible by providing tenants with plenty of notice, giving them a gym membership, hiring an on-site ambassador to deal with problems, and not raising the rent even after the renovations.
That's what I came home to.
While Wheeler hasn't made a formal complaint to the North Carolina Attorney General's office, another tenant did. In a letter back to the complainant, the consumer protection specialist says, quote, because our office cannot force a company to take a specific action, it does not appear we can be of any further assistance.
I don't think it's right for them to have made us live like that.
But right or not, Campus Walk did follow the law. In Wilmington, Makenzi Henderson, WWAY News, Channel 3. I'm Makenzi Henderson here with personal trainer Brian Knox. In today's Fit Minute, we are focusing on the thighs. And if you want lean and sculpted thighs, you're going to want to do these next 3 moves.
Good. Yep, that's perfect.
Start with the basic squat.
You keep the weight in your heels this entire exercise. If you put too much pressure in the balls of your toes or too far onto your toes, you're going to notice your knees come forward as you bend down. Every time you're in the bottom part of the squat, you should be able to look down and see your big toe. If you can't do that, you got to push back farther.
Then do standard lunges.
One of the best ways to do it is just put one leg behind the other, facing forward, drop into a nice lunge, bending both knees. Your goal is to get both knees at 90-degree angles. Your front leg, you should keep your knee over your ankle the entire time. Back leg, you want your upper thigh to be right under your hips when you're at the bottom of the lunge. Press right back up, again with that front leg through the heel, and come up to starting position.
After doing that move with the other leg in front, try the Warrior 3 cross crunch for both legs as well.
The Warrior 3 is a very tough position to get your leg up to be parallel with the floor, but you did that. It was excellent. And then you're going to bring it back to that home position. You always want to come back and find your balance before you move into the crunch. And go back and find your home position, and back into Warrior 3, and right back down.
Whew. As you can see, I am already sweating quite a bit from just those 3 moves, and the best part is you can do them at home and on your own. With today's Fit Minute, I'm Makenzi Henderson, WWAY News, Channel 3. Richard Wilkinson says he doesn't know why he got pulled over,
We'll see. I'm waiting for the officer.
waiting like many other drivers for a ticket.
We're going to still write citations and make sure that people buckle up.
It's all part of the governor's highway safety program's Click It or Ticket campaign. As law enforcement officers start up the 20th year, they say they're surprised by how many drivers still don't wear their seatbelts.
There's billboards, there's advertisements. We want people to understand that it's not going away.
Police say it's easy to remember to buckle up. Get in your car, make buckling up the first thing you do.
People will check their mirrors, they'll adjust the seat and the air conditioning, but they won't buckle up.
When they don't and they crash their car, law enforcement officers say it's a horrible scene.
It's chaotic, almost like a disaster scene, a little mini disaster.
But thanks to Click It or Ticket, there are fewer crashes. The North Carolina Department of Transportation says the number of crashes involving unbelted passengers was down from more than 38,000 in 1992 to about 8,100 last year.
It works. It does.
Even if it does keep drivers like Wilkinson waiting.
I'm not real happy with the whole way they do it, but I think it's a good idea. People need to wear their seatbelts.
Advice Wilkinson might want to follow now.
Citation for no seatbelt.
He's getting a ticket because he also failed to click it.
Go ahead.
In Wilmington, Makenzi, Henderson, WWAY News Channel 3.